Welcome to the realm of artificial intelligence, where algorithms come to life and computers learn to think. Imagine a world where machines not only process data, but also understand, adapt, make decisions on their own. Hello, tech enthusiast. I'm Anya Sharma, your host for this session, and a proud member of Junior Council Namespace Community, a dynamic tech based society at BPIT dedicated to fostering a vibrant community, honor peer support, tech awareness, skill development, and innovation. Also, before we begin, the best for the last, there's an exciting surprise awaiting you at the conclusion of this event. So stay tuned, enjoy the session to the fullest, and get ready to be pleasantly surprised at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a fascinating dive into the world of AI and ML. Tonight, we are joined by an expert who truly rocks the tech side. Give it up for amazing Mr. Rehan Khan. Rehan is distinguished Harvard CYES Innovation Fellow, a double triumph at MLH Hackathons, and an accomplished AI developer at eSynergy. With his profound expertise in artificial intelligence and machine learning, Rehan Khan stands as a guide into realm of AI/ML. Welcome, Rehan.
Hello, hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Hi, thank you, Anya, for the lovely introduction. Hi, everybody. Can they unmute? Anya, can you tell me if they're allowed to unmute or not so that I can?
Yes, we can unmute people like as per
Okay, all
your
right.
convenience.
Absolutely. So, thank you once again, Anya, for the lovely introduction. Thank you to the namespace community for having me here. It was a bit of a hassle for me to join today because it was raining very, very heavily here, and I was out in my college today, and I came back just now 10 minutes ago. But yeah, anyways. Will should we wait for another 5 minutes for others to join and then should we start or
Yeah, definitely, as per your convenience. And thank you so much for taking out time for this
definitely, definitely,
incredible session.
definitely. I think we should start. We already have 57 people here. I'll not
Yes,
keep them
yes,
waiting because
sure.
I have a presentation focused towards AI and LLMs more, but it'll still take about an hour or something like that. But it'll
Okay,
be
no
fun,
issues.
folks. Everybody who's kind of scared hearing एक घंटा लगेगा. Trust me, it will be fun. We'll keep the session very interesting. And also, Anik, could you just give me quickly tell me, like, I have never used Microsoft Teams before. Can you quickly tell me if they can use some sort of chat here and where is it?
Yes, definitely. Q&A and both chat sections are available for the attendees. They can just put their questions there and you can see. And also, moreover, they can just raise their hand. So if you want to pick and choose somebody to speak, they can do and we can unmute them. The
Okay,
management
cool,
can
cool, cool.
unmute.
Sounds really good. I mean, I think I can unmute I can give them the permission to unmute. That's totally
Yes,
fine. All
yes.
right, folks. So get started now. But in case anybody has any sort of doubt, most of the cases, what we'll do is that we'll keep all the queries till the end to the end. Just make sure that you put everything down in the Q&A chat box because once I start sharing my screen, I'll not be able to see the chat box. All right, I'll start sharing my screen then. Is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen is
All
visible.
right. All right. So once again, welcome back, everyone. We are going to talk about AI LLMs mostly, not ML and DL today, because the team did ask me to talk about machine learning, deep learning, and data science as well. But this is not a very small topic to cover, and this timing, given the timing, it would be really, really, it would become too much of a rush. And it's better to know something in depth rather than knowing everything little, little. Know something about everything and everything about something. So let's get started from here. Quick introduction about me. I think Anya already did the needful, but I'll still go through it once. I am a developer consultant of generative AI at eSynergy, founder of Corpus-X, built Harden. I previously built something called Quran GPT, with GPT, anti-GPT, a lot of GPTs. For some reason, I don't know why did I name them GPTs and not something else. I'm a summer of Bitcoin 23 intern. I've worked with companies like Polygon, Mantle, Flipkart, HSBC, and I have been featured in Abu Dhabi's national news before this, right? So moving forward, this is the table of contents for today. We'll be first starting with the introduction of generative AI and what it is, and then subdomains, why it is so expensive. How did AI exactly start booming in 2020 and 2021? What are LLMs, future of AI hardware era? That is something really interesting I want to talk about. And then in the end, I'll be answering all the queries and doubts, whatever you guys have, right? Moving forward, so let's talk about something first. AI is not what it seems like in the internet, right? There is no, but I have received tons of DMs of people like students, first years, second years, third years, even fourth years. They're like, I want to get started with generative AI. Can you help me how to get started? Can you give me a roadmap, or can you tell me what course should I be doing? Just giving you guys a quick heads up, there is no direct way to get started with artificial intelligence. Right? AI is a complex beehive network of machine learning and deep learning models constantly interacting with each other. Now, for those who don't know, I'll give you a pre-context. What is machine learning and what are deep learning models? Machine learning is when computer uses mathematics and some algorithms to make predictions, right? So predictions, what I mean by prediction is that, for example, for the last 1 month, it has been raining every single day from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now, based on that data, the computer will do some basic mathematic operation and decide, and not basic mathematic, actually, it can be advanced as well. It can be sometimes calculus, sometimes some deep shit formulas. I don't know. I am scared of maths, but whatever it is. Yeah. So using that data, it will predict and tell you whether it's going to rain tomorrow or day after tomorrow or not. You'll see all these weather forecast app and all these stock predictions app. All these use machine learning concepts, machine learning algorithms like knife Bayes algorithm or k-mean and regression and stuff. Right. I'm not going into the details of it. And what deep learning exactly is, machine learning but with mimicking of human intelligence, right? Now deep learning has some specific use cases as well. The use cases are, you'll see image recognition. Like nowadays what happens is that when you post a photo on Facebook, what happens is that पहले क्या होता था, I mean, can somebody quickly, I mean, all of you who use Facebook or who have used Facebook before, can quickly raise your hand once. Okay. Okay, for all of you who have used any of the social media app, including Instagram, Facebook, anything at all, not WhatsApp, raise your hand once. I can see how many. How do I see who is it? Okay, cool, cool, cool. So I'm assuming everybody has used a social media app once, right? So I'll quickly tell you, like, yeah. So you will see today in this 2023, 2024, what happens now is that when you post a Facebook or when you post a photo on Facebook, what happens is that पहले क्या करना होता था ना, when you're posting a photo on Instagram something, you see there's an option of tagging a person, right? अब क्या होता है, the ecosystem and the technologies have gone so advanced that you click a photo and you post it online, it will auto tag for you. It will automatically identify the person is tagged for you. This is a very, very core concept of deep learning. Deep learning, image recognition comes under deep learning. Voice recognition comes under deep learning. You see, when you're talking to Siri or when you're talking to something, all these are deep learning. So, and image generation is a part of AI, but yeah, mostly deep learning. I'm not going into the details of ML and DL because here we are about to focus on AI and LLMs. Specifically, the type of AI we're talking about here is the 2023-2024 AI. I mean, the current trends and the latest trends AI, right? So when there are too many machine learning models, let's assume that you're doing something, you have an artificially intelligent system which does the prediction, and based on that, it makes some, how do I tag it? May generate some image or something of that. Let's say you have a machine learning algorithm which does a prediction of stock analysis. That it does stock analysis and does a stock prediction. And then you have a deep learning algorithm. Using that data, it generates a graph. It generates an image out of thin air. Right? This is an artificially intelligent system. So AI is a complex BI network of ML and DL models constantly interacting with each other. Understand this thing very carefully, because what happens is that if somebody claims themselves to be an artificial AI engineer, okay, not an AI developer, that is something else, I don't want to talk about that, but an AI engineer has to have an experience of at least 10 to 15 years in the field of machine learning and deep learning. You'll see Netflix is paying as high as $1 million to an AI engineer. They're hiring AI engineer. $1 million is the highest for any tech role, any tech role. But then for you to become an AI engineer, it's a very kind of long journey, right? You need to first start with ML and then get really good at it and then go into DL, deep learning and stuff. And after 10, 15 years of experience in machine learning and deep learning, then you can call yourself artificial intelligence engineer. Now, there are two types of AI generally talking about, right? The subdomains of AI, if I talk about, there is something called as generative AI that you'll see everywhere. Gen AI, jisko dekho wo bolta hai, generative AI, generative AI. And there's something known as discriminative AI that not many people know about, right? Now, what discriminative and what generative AI is, I'll tell you the difference. So, how many of you check your emails on a regular basis? Raise your hands quickly. Come on, guys, I need you to be interactive so that I can make the content much more relevant for you. Yeah, okay, nice. 30 35 people have raised. So you guys check your emails on a daily basis. All right, how many of you have gone through a situation where you ordered something and received something else, and then called the helpline number of Amazon, Myntra, whatever it is? 20, 22, 23, 24, right? So I'll give you a quick example, right? You see the spam detection. When you see a mail going into your spam folder, it's generally due to the machine learning algorithms that are classifying an email to be a spam email or not spam email. This is a discriminative AI domain. This is what spam detection is. And how spam detection is done, it's basically done on based on based on certain keywords, and then there are algorithms to do ratio and percentage and then all those shit. That is what spam detection is. Um, Talking about sentiment analysis. So, does anybody here know what sentiment analysis is? Quickly raise your hands if you know. Okay, before I move forward, I want to know how many of you are first year students? 20, okay, 26, 28, 29. Okay, we have roughly 30 people from first year. How many of you are second year students? Roughly again 30 people. All right, all right. Cool. Anyway, so the first years might find it somewhere. I mean, I have kept it a very, very layman language, but yet if again you find something that you're not understanding enough, put it down in the Q&A box. I'll answer each and every query in the end, right? So talking about sentiment analysis once again. So you'll see what happens is that it's a very interesting example. जब आप कुछ सामान ऑर्डर करते हो फ्लिपकार्ट से या फिर लेट्स से अपने फ्लिपकार्ट से एक सामान ऑर्डर किया and you are really satisfied with the product that you received. Okay, you go on to Twitter, you tag Flipkart and write that, hey Flipkart, I mean, really satisfied with the product, this and that. You'll see immediately within 1 to 2 minutes, you'll receive a reply from the Flipkart's account, official account, that is, thank you for purchasing it from Flipkart. Please do keep shopping again, this and that, etc., etc. Now, you are not the only one. There are millions of people who do this on a daily basis. Like everybody, every time everyone is going. Do you think really there is someone sitting behind the system replying to your tweets? No, right? I mean, it's practically not possible for a company to be paying or to be spending money behind a person to sit behind a computer and answer your tweets. On the same note, let's say you order something and you receive a faulty product or a damaged product. What happens is that you go onto Twitter, you tag Flipkart and write, and you'll see immediately a reply comes in from the Flipkart's official account. They reply back. We're really sorry for your experience. Please DM us with your customer ID, and our customer expert will look into it. Right? How does this happen? This is what we call sentiment analysis. When you tweet about something, there is a sentiment analysis, and our sentiment can be categorized into three things: positive, negative, neutral. Positive sentiment is that it's about something good, you're happy with it, or maybe something like that. Negative sentiment is when you don't like the experience of Flipkart or something like that. So they have predefined tweets for that. If the sentiment is negative, then they do some NLP, they process like what did the customer not like about it, and this and that. And then can be neutral tweets as well, right? This is what sentiment analysis is, and this is done via AI and ML only. Image classification, again, you have a cat, you have a dog. You'll see automatically the system can identify, okay, this is a cat's image, this is a dog's image. Medical diagnosis, breast cancer identification, cornea identification, different sorts of, I mean, AI and ML has a huge application in medical diagnosis, huge application. Coronavirus, when COVID hit here, I mean, not just here, when the COVID pandemic hit, the AI ML team worldwide was globally expanded by 200% so that the team could get onto the vaccine pretty much faster. Because anytime if a pandemic is hitting, it takes about 10 years to develop a vaccine, an average time of 10 years. Yet somehow the mankind managed to develop a vaccine within 1.5 years or 2 years. Okay. Also, part being that the vaccine wasn't like fully secure, but whatever it is, we're not getting into the details of that. That is what about discriminative AI is. Now, the opposite of discriminative AI is generative AI. Discriminative AI's job is to discriminate between two things, to classify between two things, right? Sentiment analysis, positive, negative. I'm keeping the neutral part aside. Medical diagnosis, discriminate if a person is having a breast cancer or not having a breast cancer. Image classification, again, two types of images being classified into if is it XYZ image or not XYZ image. Is this a dog's image or not a dog's image? Spam detection again, spam, not spam. Generative AI, on the other hand, is what I mean, modern day AI and LLMs are about, right? Text generation. You ask a query, it will generate an answer for you. It will generate, there is no hard coded answer to it. There is no predefined answer written in the code base for it. It generates text for it. Image generation, DALI, stable diffusion. They generate image out of thin air. Music generation, video generation, all these are examples. Data synthesis. Data synthesis is a really good example. It's kind of very dangerous as well. Data synthesis is when you give a sample data, a few sample data to the LLM or to the AI model, and based on that data, it generates more similar data, right? For example, you have a data set of 100 students score in 5 different subjects, right? Now, using that, it can generate 10,000 more data of 10,000 random students. This is dangerous because what the only thing that is required for an AI model to become more intelligent is data. The more the data, the more intelligent it becomes. But if the AI model itself becomes capable enough to develop more data, to synthesize more data, then it can train itself as well. And it will become intelligent to a point where it will be kind of out of hands to control it, right? Terminator shit, whatever it is. Again, talking about this, I think we should probably skip this part because since many of you are from first year, second year. But anyways, just giving you a quick overview of this. AI engineer you see here and full stack engineer, these are people. There are two parts to AI, right? There is one AI development, then there is the research part. Development is when you are developing a product which is user focused, which is kind of which the job of the product is to make users' life easier. And there's the other part where is the research, where you're trying to explore more capabilities, more features of an AI model, or you're trying to develop more features of an AI model. And the focus of this research thing is to make the AI model more smarter, right? Uh, I'll skip this part because if we go into the details of this, you guys are gonna get definitely confused. Now, this is something not everybody thinks about. I mean, I myself, I'm working, eSynergy is a UK based company, right, where I'm working right now. And when we are dealing with clients and we are developing projects, this is something that I always keep in my mind. Sometimes my product manager even misses it that, okay, we want a solution. There are n number of ways you can develop that solution. But the solution has to be feasible. It has to be economical, technically feasible, it has to be economical at the same time, it has to be fast, it has to be pocket friendly and everything, right? So AI is not everyone's cup of tea. And what by that I mean is not every company that you see out there can develop an AI model of themselves, right? Because AI is very expensive, very expensive. It takes millions of dollars to develop an AI. There are companies who have millions of dollars of funding only. If they spend all the money in developing an AI model, that too won't even be near to anywhere what we have online today, right? very, very expensive. It is very resource heavy. An AI model requires a lot of manpower. An AI model requires a lot of data, clean data. An AI model requires a lot of stuff. It requires a lot of GPU and CPU computation power, right? So it's very resource heavy. In case you guys don't know, OpenAI had a case, a very long case going on against them. That was they hired Africans in under wage, right? So they were hiring Africans to manually type in data for the AI model, to manually feed data to the AI model, and they were paying something around $3 per day. That's under wage, right? So OpenAI had a case going on around for that because it is so resource heavy, and they knew that if they start spending money on these resources, then they're gonna go broke. And that is why, for those of you who don't know, OpenAI is a non-profit. They claim themselves to be a non-profit organization because whatever revenue they're generating, they're investing it back again to train the next generation of the GPT, which is actually not true. But yeah, the quotation that they gave for training GPT-4 is $1 billion. $1 billion, for those who don't know, is 8,000 crores. I think so. I'm not wrong. But yeah, I mean, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, 8,000 crores if I'm not wrong. It's very, very resource heavy. It's very, very time consuming. It's very, very expensive. So AI is not everyone's cover. Only big, big giant companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, these companies can only build world-class AI models. I'm not talking about shit AI models that can, like, that hallucinates and that gives inaccurate responses, right? I'm talking about really good AI models. Not everyone's cup of tea. Now let's talk about large language models. But before that, does anyone have any doubt? Any sort of doubt? Raise your hands if you have one. I'll unmute you and then you can go ahead and ask me. No? Guys, if you don't ask me questions, and this entire session is gonna go in vain. The entire point of this session is not for me to present the slides because I could have sent it via. Okay, we have one person. Yep, Ankan, I have allowed you to unmute. Hello, Ankan. Hello. Ankan, can you hear me? Okay, I'm muting you back again. Yeah, so what I was saying is that if you don't ask me questions here, and I mean, I could have sent the presentation via email or something, and they could have forwarded it to you, right? What is the point of joining a session if you just want to see the presentation? Ask me questions here, whatever comes to your mind. The more you ask questions, start asking questions, start questioning technology. That is how you can go long term in this industry, right? You'll see in 2024, what happens is that what is happening right now is companies are more looking for people who are vociferous. And what I mean by vociferous is that they want to opinion their voices. Okay, let's say we have a product manager, we have our manager is kind of coming up with a feature, is saying that okay, this is something we want to do. We have a meeting going on. I don't like that idea. I think that idea is a flop. It's a resource waste. I'll go against it and I'll tell him on his face, this idea is flop. This is my opinion on it. This is what companies are nowadays looking for. Because if they're spending money behind you, they're also looking for inputs from you. Every input counts when you're rolling out a product, when you're rolling out a feature. When you learn about SDLC models, you'll see there is a model called build and ship model. Okay. When build and ship happens, it's a reiteration, it's I mean, a cyclic model. You build something, you ship it out. You take feedbacks and then again build it. You ship it out, then again take feedback. So this feedback part is very important. Okay. So if anybody, I mean, I'm going ahead with the presentation, but if you have a doubt, please do unmute and ask me. It can be about anything, AI, ML, I mean, uh, career, I don't know, DSA, whatever it is. I'm really bad at DSA though. Okay, we have Tithi here. Tithi, I'll unmute you. Yep, Tithi, I have allowed your mic. You want to say something? You want to ask something? Tithi, you raised your hand. You want to ask something?
You can unmute yourself, Tithi.
right, not a problem. I think they are getting the hang around Microsoft Teams, whatever it is. But yeah,
Yes, I
anyways, yeah. Let me get back to the session then again. Now talking about large language models. Now here where the difference is, you'll see everywhere a open AI in when they're talking about GPT, nowhere in the entire blog of GPT they claim themselves they claim a GPT model to be an AI model. An AI model is much more than a large language model. Okay, I'm not going into the details of it, but there is a difference. There is a slight difference between an AI model, an entirely AI model, and a large language model. A large language model is a part of an AI model. Okay, so what are large language models? Right, models that are trained on huge corpus of data. The name in itself pretty much says it all, right? Large language model, huge corpus of data are called large language models. It is a very, very super intelligent models. I can name a few. You guys already know GPT, GPT 3, 4, whatever it is, Claude, Falcon, Llama. All these are. I mean, for those who don't know, Apple is working on a model. They haven't officially announced, but the name of the model is Ferret, Ferret. It's an open source model, and it does better than GPT-4. It does better. GPT-4 is still the most powerful model that I have personally used. Okay, but it does better than GPT-4. So just wait and watch when Apple comes out with their own AI model. I mean LLM. It's super intelligent model, and it has been trained on clean and pre-processed data. Now understand this thing. As it said, AI, the entire point, the entire core of an LLM is clean and pre-processed data. The more the data is, the more better it responds. Right. So you'll see these companies, OpenAI and Anthropic, these companies are going around tying up with content companies and image companies, image corporate. You know about Shutterstock? How many of you guys know about Shutterstock? You might have seen somewhere on social media when you're trying to download an image, you'll see a copyright or watermark of Shutterstock on top of it, right? They provide copyrighted images. So OpenAI signed a deal with Shutterstock to get all the images for training of their models, right? Now, also, Bloomberg. I mean, I don't remember the name exactly. Give me 1 second. I don't remember the name of the journal, but I think it's Bloomberg. Bloomberg sued OpenAI for using their journals to train the AI model. Now the game has started. Now the game is all about data. Everybody is kind of trying to protect the data or make money out of it. I have some data. The model is using that data to train itself. So why not monetize it? You want to train your model on top of my data? Give me money for that. I'll charge you money and I'll give you my data freely. So when you're working in the industry, okay, or for all those who are going to move forward with ML and AI, if when you're working on the industry, with big clients like any of the big clients, you'll see they don't allow you to use all of the data with any of the models openly. Never will they allow, because there's something known as privacy. If these models start using your data to train their model, it becomes a privacy concern, very big privacy concern. So this is what an LLM is. Now, use cases of LLMs, I mean, pretty much everyone knows that an LLM chatbots are use case of LLM. You'll see ChatGPT, Claude, if you guys haven't used it. Then you have Perplexity, then you have all different sort of Hugging Face has their own chatbot. Summarization, you give an entire PDF, it summarizes it into it. You give a big piece of text, it summarizes it into a small thing. Q&A, data synthesizer, as I said, and many more. A lot of things, a lot of use cases of LLMs. And if talking about industry specific, then even right now in the industry where we are working, where I am working right now, we are uncovering more and more use cases of LMs, how it can help internal teams to prepare marketing campaigns, to summarize the deals and stuff, and all right, like that. So yeah, there are huge use cases of LMs. There is yet a lot of use cases to be explored. Now you might ask, how do LLMs work? So I'll quickly tell you how do LLMs. So what happens is that when you give a query to the LLM, there is something known as natural language processing, NLP. The LLM breaks so first NLP is performed over your sentence. It's broken into words and then it's analyzed. How many nouns are there? All the grammar shit is done on top of it. It tries to make sense out of the sentence, right? You can write in a sentence in 10 different ways and it will mean the same thing. But the LLM needs to understand the 10 different sentences mean the same thing, right? So NLP and everything is done. And after that, when it is done, when it makes a sense out of the sentence, then the corpus that it has been trained on, it fetches information out of it. Now, there are LLMs for each particular specific scenario as well. You see, these are the companies. For text generation, these are the popular LLM models. For classification, Cohere, Bloom, knowledge answering, Sphere, Meta AI, and then Lambda. I don't know what this Lambda is. I know about Google's Gemini and stuff. Translation, NLLB. Then there is something also known as FAISS, Facebook AI semantic search. You have dialogue generation. For image and stuff, you have DALI, stable diffusion, and all sorts of different. There are there are a lot of large language models out there. Now, let's talk about how you can create your own AI. I mean, not AI, but how you can train an AI model or an LLM on your own data. Now, this is the most common question. This is something that everyone wants to do today. Okay, quickly raise your hands. How many of you want to train an LLM or an AI model on your own data? Like so that you can, ask questions based on the and the data could be anything. It could be a book, it could be your project, it could be, I don't know, whatever.
Also, sorry to interrupt in between. There was a technical glitch. That's why students were not able to unmute. You can just look at the Q&A sessions. They have put doubts in that.
Oh, I'm really sorry, I missed it. I thought it would be showing me numbers on the camera, but yeah, all right, I'll
It's all
come to
right.
that.
Yeah.
Raise quickly. Okay, I mean, I think everybody lowered their hands. What is the exact meaning of clean pre-processed data? So I'll tell you what clean pre-processed data means. Let's say you have a data set. Okay. Data set contains students and their data. Data as in what's their age, what's their gender, what's their hobbies and stuff. Now, अगर उस डेटा में किसी student का age -20 रहे, is that factually correct? Can a person's age be -20? Can a person's age be 0? No, this is called noisy data. When you are feeding data to a machine, the data has to be clean. Otherwise, the predictions the ML models make or the responses that it gives also will be inaccurate. That is what we mean by clean pre-processed data. The data has to be cleaned of all this. इसको noise बोलते हैं, outliers भी बोलते हैं. A person's age cannot be 200 years, right? So that is called an outlier. At this time, what is the best option for career? Machine learning expert or AI model developer? Okay, that is a very, very ambiguous question to be really. Machine learning expert, AI model developer, more or less same thing. AI model, there is no, a single person cannot develop an AI model first thing. When an AI model is being developed, there are a lot of machine learning engineers involved, a lot of deep learning engineers involved. They're all putting efforts together. So you cannot, and I don't think there is also something known as AI model developer. If I were to develop any model, it would be using someone's API. Okay, is it good for the developer or one should develop one's own API? It is definitely fine to use someone's API. The entire point of creating APIs was this only, right? You should understand how the model is working. You should be able to take the full potential out of that model using those APIs. Totally fine. I mean, I've highly encouraged people around build AI applications using APIs out there. You can call yourself AI developers in. That is it. Hey, I joined late. We'll be getting recording. Okay, and sure, no worries. A training module is costly or not? How can we clean our data set? The cleaning of data set is generally done manually. This is where the manual part comes in. I said right, OpenAI hired people from Africa or Nigeria. I don't remember exactly, but yeah. So this is done manually. You can do it via machine also, but then again, machine does not really have the intelligence to understand if -200 years or -20 years is right or not. Right. Just give me. So training of a model is costly or not? Yeah, training of a model is costly. If you fine tune a model, it charges you some money because you are overlapping your data on top of some extra existent data there. It is OpenAI charges fine tuning OpenAI charges money. Yeah, it is costly, but I mean it's not expensive. It's cheap. It's very cheap. Which is harder for creating a new AI model, making the model itself or creating a data set for it to train on? Okay, that's a very interesting question. Which is harder, making a model itself or creating the data set to train it? See, data set, if you cannot create a data set exactly for an AI model, if you're creating a data set, then you're synthesizing data. You cannot synthesize data for an AI model. AI model has to be trained on real world data. So you will be gathering data, you'll be creating curated data set rather, right? So you can make a model, but as long as you don't train it on a data set and don't test it out, you'll never know the accuracy of the model. So I think uh, making the model is still the more harder part because you need to look after a lot of things. There are neural nets, there are neural layers, neurons, what we call, right, weights and biases. A lot of stuff goes in machine learning, deep learning, and everything shit comes in. Training is still the later part. So firstly, we should master ML and DL, then come to AI. You can directly jump to AI as well, but if you're looking to become an AI engineer, what the world calls it, so-called AI engineer, then ML and DL is the way. And if you want to come to AI, even you'll have to have the basic understanding of ML and DL, a very, very basic understanding. I'm working on a next word prediction, but the model mostly always gives it is the A and many more. Okay, that is something that I cannot really answer if I don't know the entire context. And guys, I'll answer the rest of the questions after we move forward with the session because otherwise time khatam ho jayega. But keep dropping your questions in the Q&A. All right. So there are generally three ways how we train an AI with our data, right? An LLM with our data. One is prompting. Now, prompting is the easiest way to do that. And prompting generally, what it means is that let's say you have this long paragraph of information, you give that information and you write down below that information, you write a line based on the information provided above, answer the following question. And you give a follow-up question. The model will be able to answer. Everybody of you, after the session gets over, go to ChatGPT, give a paragraph, it can be a comprehension or anything, and ask a follow-up question and see how it answers. That is what we call prompting. Okay. Fine tuning, what happens is that we have a own data set, and the data set looks like something like a pair of question and answer, and it has to be a big data set. Generally, then only fine tuning works well. If it's a small data set, it does not really work well. Fine tuning is that training the model on your own pair of question and answers. I mean, what the input will look like and the output of that particular question should look like. And then comes the third and the most popular approach, that is retrieval augmented generation, RAG. What RAG means is that let's say you have a PDF. Okay, you try to train the model on the PDF. What happens is that the entire PDF is converted into numbers. Machine does not understand text. Machine converts text into numbers. Okay, so the entire PDF is converted into numbers that are present in the three-dimensional space as vectors and coordinates. Okay, let's say एक number है उसका coordinate है 0.3, 4. एक और number है उसका coordinate है I mean not number sorry, एक word है उसको numbers में convert किया तो उसका coordinate निकल गया. अब वो coordinate है 0.3, 4. एक और word है उसका coordinate है 4, 7, 9 something like that. So you have a ton of text from the PDF all in a vector database, all in a 3D space. नाउ जब व्हेन यू आर आस्किंग अ फॉलो अप क्वेश्चन उसमें से वर्ड्स निकालते हैं, उसको भी नंबर्स में कन्वर्ट किया जाता है, एंड देन वी लुक फॉर द नियरेस्ट वर्ड, नियरेस्ट पॉइंट इन द थ्री डिमेंशनल स्पेस. अब एक नंबर अगर मिल रहा है उसके नियरेस्ट एक पॉइंट मिल रहा है तो व्हाट वी डू, ऑल द नियरेस्ट पॉइंट्स आर गैदर्ड टुगेदर एंड दैट इंफॉर्मेशन, अब ऑल दीज नियरेस्ट पॉइंट्स दैट आर देयर इन द 3D स्पेस, दीज आर ऑल वर्ड्स जो कि नंबर्स में कन्वर्टेड है, इसको गैदर करके वापस वर्ड में कन्वर्ट किया जाता है एंड देन इसके अराउंड एक आंसर्स जनरेट होता है. So retrieving relevant information from external source and generating an answer around it. Augmentation जिसको बोलते हैं, ठीक है. These are the popular three approaches. RAG is the most popular approach. If you go out, you'll see LangChain, Llama Index, all of these posting tons of RAG blog posts these days. I've seen. Now talking about what's next for AI. Right. This is a very interesting question. I myself personally haven't seen any of the people speaker ever giving a Gen AI session talking about what's next for AI, the future of AI. Right. There are three very important things for AI. One is ethics. Ethics is very much required in AI. That right now, people are going wild with AI, developing anything and everything. Right. By what I mean by ethics is that, for example, I developed something called Quran GPT. Okay. Someone went there and the reason why, I mean, there were a lot of reasons why I was in the first place for the Abu Dhabi National. But one of the reasons was that my application. Quran GPT never gave a controversial answer regarding any other religion. Now, this has something to do with ethics. These are very basic ethics, right? By ethics, also another thing what I mean is that everybody knows what a deep fake is. A deep fake is when you overlap someone's face on top of a video. Okay. That is what a deep fake is. It is a very, very serious and a very dangerous matter. Explicit content can be made using someone else's face, and that guy absolutely has no idea about it, right? So these are all about ethics. So what by ethics, what we mean is that something has to be done about it. Not every company who has access to AI has to follow certain rules, and that is where the constitution comes in. There has to be some common rules and guidelines when they like, and when we are developing software, we have some common practices of SDLC, right? Same way, when we are developing an AI application, there has to be some common practices. Like in the case of deepfake, a common practice is to add watermark. Whatever services you're using, add a watermark. If Google is tomorrow launches a platform where you can generate a deepfake, you upload a video, upload an image, and it will create a deepfake. The video will have watermark on top of it so that people will know that this is a deepfake video. But if it does not have a watermark, then people might think it's a real video, and there might controversies might spark. Right? It's ethically not right. And lastly comes the AI hardware era, that is 2024. Or, I mean, from here we start on. Now, what the AI hardware era is, how many of you know what these devices are? Anyone, if anyone of you can even, okay, one, two. Can anybody name the device? Any of the two devices? Okay, I'll tell you what it is. So the left one is called Rabbit R1. It's a standalone device for AI. It's a standalone AI device. Okay, they call it large action model and not a large language model. I'll tell you the difference between an agent and a LLM. What an LLM does is that you can ask it question, it will respond back, but that is it. It cannot do anything beyond that. It can only and only give you responses, give you information regarding something. Whereas agents are supposed to do the job for you. They take actions, required actions to do tasks, right? Large action model is something like that. You ask the model, you see this white button here. It is a push to talk button. You push that button and you ask it to book a flight to Delhi, for example. Okay, it will book a flight for you, and you just need to click a button called accept, and all the bookings will be done. The transaction will be made on your behalf. Right. The action button, the approve, or I mean, there was a button called approve. Sorry, not action, but yeah. So they are calling it large action model. You can go on search on Rabbit R1 or LAM large action model. This is a really cool device. You see this camera, it's a 360-degree camera. You push the button, you turn on the camera, and you can scan anything and ask what is this, and it will real time scan it and tell you. It's a real standalone AI device fully. It's very cheap. It's $200 somehow. It was launched about a week ago or something like that, and they have made already sales of more than pre-sales of more than 70,000 units. Now, talking about this is again the same thing. It's called human AI pin. Okay, this is a standalone phone sort of device. ये जो है ये pin type का इसको लगाना पड़ता है अपने इसमें. It projects. इसमें से एक projection निकलता है hologram type का, and you can keep your hand and it will project on top of your hand and you can do all sorts of things. Right? This is $700 and it is selling like crazy shit. So we are entering slowly into the AI hardware era where everything is on our palm. Right now we have software. Everyone is for every use case we have a different AI, we have a different model, we have a different software. But then there comes one hardware which combines all AIs into one, all models into one, multimodal AI. Right. That is all about AI hardware. The space is moving pretty fast. Agents, AI hardware, agentic software, and all sorts of stuff. I wanted to get into more detail, but I thought, I mean, giving too much of information is gonna confuse you all. But yeah, you can anytime reach me out on my social media handles and I'll be more than happy to help you out on any queries. With that, I think I have come to the end of my session. I'll now answer your queries, and if anyone wants to unmute and speak, that's the best thing that we can do in this session. Okay, Rabbit R1 human, right, Rabbit R1. Difference between Gemini and ChatGPT. Okay, see, first thing, ChatGPT is not a model. It's not an AI model. ChatGPT is an interface. A lot of people get confused. ChatGPT is an interface for the GPT model, right? How we have, for example, लेट्स से एप्पल का फेरेट मॉडल है, कल को वो लॉन्च होगा तो वो सीरी से कनेक्ट अगर कर दिया जाएगा तो सीरी विल बी द इंटरफेस फॉर द फेरेट मॉडल, तो चैट जीपीटी इज द इंटरफेस फॉर द जेमिनी मॉडल, for the GPT model. And Gemini in itself is a model, a multi-model. I mean, they claim themselves to be very, very out of the box and brilliant, but I doubt that. I think it's going to be a very big flop. I think. Okay, can you tell something about Google Gemini? See, Google Gemini, they're saying they're really good at code, text generation, video, and stuff. All we know, I mean, how many of you have personally tried out Gemini? I haven't tried out, but all I know is that I have only seen a video, a marketing video, and I can't really like make any statements on that because Google has previously also marketed Google Bard really well, but then when it came out, it was shit. Even today, I think ChatGPT is much way better than Bard. Bard somewhere does fairly good, but ChatGPT is still better. How and from where can I learn AI ML? For ML, I mean, you can get started with free resources on YouTube. You don't need to get any course. There are resources. Get the hang about the terminologies of ML, what are the algorithms, how the stuff is done, where it's used, applications and stuff. Tell something about Gemini Pro and Gemini Vision Pro. So Gemini, I haven't again used Gemini Vision Pro, but I am developing a project on my for a client. I mean, in eSynergy only, and we are using GPT for Vision there. It's really good. It's really good, but it's slow. But it's slow. That is where the entire thing goes down, right? I'm working on next word prediction model. Okay, about that I already told. Can you provide a roadmap to learn AI? Get started with ML. Get immediately started with ML. Go about different terminologies, different what do you call it? Algorithms, and then slowly dive into DL. What I mean, you don't have to go into the details of deep learning. You just know the overalls, how it works and what it is, and then you can start with developing AI applications. Now about that, okay, all of you who are tested Gemini, my experience is good. Okay, right, all right. I'll try out myself, Gemini. I haven't really got the time to do that. I've been so occupied. But yeah, so all those who are looking forward to get started with AI directly, I'll recommend you to get started with playing around with OpenAI's APIs or free open source APIs. Okay, play around with it. Build very simple applications. Build your own version of ChatGPT. Then build a more advanced version of something. Find out use cases. See, it's not about AI. It's about a use case you can identify, right? I mean, when I developed Quran GPT, I did not know that much of AI, but what I knew was there was a gap that I could fill. There was a use case that I could build, and I built it. That is what it's all about. When you're developing a project, always remember the utility of the project matters, not what you're using in the project. The utility of the project. If you're developing a Blinkit clone, for example, the utility matters because already a Blinkit application exists in the market, right? So what new are you doing? Nobody cares what API you are using in the backend, how you're managing your cart, how you're storing it in the database, how it organized it is. Everyone cares about how the front end looks or how what is the utility of it is, right? Uh, what is Quran AI? Okay, I don't know about Quran AI. I developed something called Quran GPT. It's just a tool for you to understand Quran better. So, I mean, the problem that I identified is that I am a religious person. I mean, I am very inclined towards my religion. But then when there is a question, and even in your religion, it excuse me, even in your religion, I mean, in Hinduism or Jainism, every religion they say that your holy book of Bhagavad Gita has answers to every question that a human can have, right? It is supposed to guide you through it. But are you willing to sit down and go through 800 pages to look for an answer to a question that you have right now? No. So that is the problem that I found. That is the solution that I built. That is the gap that I filled. Any resources that you can recommend for starting? Okay, I don't remember exactly, but there is a channel called Edureka on YouTube. They have a ML course about 8-9 hours. Good to get started. For again another thing, your maths has to be strong for that. मैंने तो पहले हाथ खड़ा कर दिया था उसके लिए. How did you get the Harvard CYES Innovation Fellowship? Okay, so Priyanshu, Harvard CYES Innovation Fellowship अब शायद बंद हो गया. I'm not sure about it. But पहले it was like it is an entrepreneurship program. Okay, where you have an idea, they'll do 3-4 rounds of interview, market check, and all those. MVP भी देखेंगे तुम्हारा. वो Harvard. So Harvard CYES stands for Harvard Crimson Youth Entrepreneurship Society. Right. And I had 3 rounds of Boston से थे जो लोग मेरा interview लेते. I had 3 rounds of interview and everything. And the entire point of the cohort was कि people will help each other build the MVP and stuff, right? So अब तो शायद बंद हो गया है, but yeah, I was active at back then on LinkedIn. अभी भी हूँ मैं LinkedIn में, ऐसी बात नहीं, Twitter पे ज्यादा active हूँ, but so I found out that अच्छा ऐसा हो रहा है, and I was really, and I'm still really passionate about startups and building projects from scratch. That is how I got in. You'll have to have a vision, that's it. एक विजन रखो, ये यही करना है, ऐसा करेंगे. अब उसके लिए दुनिया तुम्हारे साथ खड़े रहे नहीं रहे, shouldn't matter. Where to start freelancing in AI? Bro, that is a question that even I'm trying to. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Freelancing ka space is very toxicated right now, to be really honest. I have seen people using no-code tools to build AI solutions and उसमें freelancing कर रहे हैं, and anybody at all, कोई भी अपने आप को AI expert बुला के freelancing का काम उठा ले रहा है, इतना इतना वाहियात product delivery दे रहा है. So I'll suggest is that if you want to get into freelancing of AI, get into some outside company. I mean, even at eSynergy, I'm on a contract, freelance contract, right? So something like that. What could be the best answer to AI model learning? Can you put it? Okay, I have answered most of the questions, I think. How much math is required in this field? Lot of math. A lot of math is required in this field. Calculus, statistics, probability, what not, bro, what not. A lot of math is required. Also, machine learning is a bit boring if you guys, in case you guys didn't know that. The entire reason why I left machine learning personally was it was very, very boring. You know, you have just a piece of code, you don't know how it works, what you just click on the run button, it goes on, goes on, goes on, and then it gives you accuracy and stuff. Yeah. Anyone else? Any queries? Anyone wants to unmute and talk about anything? It can be about hackathons, it can be about projects, it can be about career, DSA. I mean, I don't know DSA, but still. Pratik wants to unmute and speak, I assume.
Pratik, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Pratik. Good evening. भाई सर मत बोलो यार तुम लोग.
Sir, as I was doing DSA from 3 semesters, so is it, do I have enough time to start AIML and learn in AIML so I can get internship next year?
Oh, which year are you in right now, Pratik?
I am in second year. My third semester just got completed.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. It's never too late to get started. Just get started. Consistency, rakhna, and also by consistency, and this is something that I would personally tell everybody. When you are learning something, when you're building something, do not get lost into it, right? I'm telling you, एक monotonous life बन जाता है, एक void आ जाता है, ऐसा ना कि you just like every day I'm going to college, coming back, sitting with my laptop, coding again, sleeping, going on. Life ही नहीं है. Give yourself some space. I am that person who launches one project in 2 months, but that one project is a solid project. मेरा लास्ट कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स जाके तुम देखो मेरे वेबसाइट पोर्टफोलियो वेबसाइट और लिंक्डइन पे you'll see there's more than 2000 reactions on it, right?
Oh,
And there are
okay,
people
sir.
who launch 5 projects every month, right? So take some time. मैं डेली कोड नहीं करता हूँ. I actually coded today after about a month or two, I don't know. Yeah, I have a more of a product business problem solving mindset. I look for solutions, and when I get the solution, then I build it. I don't
So,
randomly sit and experiment around. I mean, I do experiment around with shit, but अभी थोड़ा सा ज्यादा ये हो गया है मेरा. I mean, also I stay a bit occupied, but I don't do coding every day. Yet I'm here. So तुम लोग को भी do not push yourself too hard, and that is what I mean. Do not push yourself so hard that it becomes, your life becomes very monotonous and you don't have a personal life at all.
okay, thanks.
लोगों का काम है कहना, ठीक है, लोग कहेंगे कि भाई कर ले अभी टाइम इंटर्नशिप है ये वो वगैरह वगैरह। टेक टाइम फॉर योरसेल्फ भाई। हो सकता है किसी को करने में 6 महीना लगा, तुम्हें करने में 1 साल लग रहा है, गिव योरसेल्फ टाइम। बट व्हेन यू टेक 1 ईयर एंड व्हेन यू डू इट, एटलीस्ट तुम्हारे अंदर वो कॉन्फिडेंस रहेगा, ठीक है, वो पीस रहेगा कि हाँ मुझे अच्छे से पता है, ठीक है। बिकॉज आई हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल जो कि 6 महीना में डीएसए करने के ये कर लेंगे वो कर लेंगे, रश करते हैं, और लास्ट में जब इंटरव्यू में बैठते हैं तो उनको इम्पोस्टर सिंड्रोम होने लगता है, इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स होने लगता है कि उनको आता है बट स्टिल दे आर नॉट बीइंग एबल टू डू इट, राइट। So anyone else, any other question? Anyone wants to do a bit of chit chat? How many of you have participated in hackathons before this? Okay, 7, 10, out of 80 people, only 14, 15, 20 people have participated in the hackathon. Guys, you are from Delhi, if I'm not wrong, right? BPIT, है ना? Bhagwan Purushottam Institute of Technology, right? I have taken sessions before as well. Am I right, Anya?
Yes, it's Bhagwan Parshuram Institute of Technology, Delhi.
Sorry, Parshuram, not Purushottam. I'm really, really sorry. It's in
It's all
Delhi,
right.
right? Yep.
Yes.
दिल्ली में तो काफी हैकाथॉन्स होते हैं. Why are you guys not? I mean, why are you guys missing? I don't really understand. Hackathons are a really great way to get started. You learn about technologies, नए technology. You learn about how to build and ship projects fast. ठीक है. अभी तुम एक प्रोजेक्ट को लेके बैठे रहोगे 1 महीना, सोचोगे ये बनाना है वो बनाना है, तो हो गया, वो तो बन गया, वो निकल गया, हो गया लॉन्च, सब हो गया. शिप इट. जैसे ही दिमाग में आइडिया है, शिप इट. मेरा I'll there is a Q&A यहाँ पे ना. Can we pin something here? I mean, okay, I think my screen is being shared ना. हाँ. You
Yes.
guys can see my portfolio website का link. Go there and you'll see my projects there. There's something called Hudn there. HUDN. ठीक है, check it out. We built it entirely in 6 weeks. ठीक है, we onboarded more than 2,200 users in 6 weeks. More than 100 projects listed. Sponsored a hackathon. Sponsoring a hackathon, monetary sponsoring a hackathon is a very, very big deal. Sponsored a hackathon and we went to Dubai. We took Hudn to Dubai for a startup incubation program. All within 6 weeks. And उसमें ही मेरा एग्जाम्स चल रहा था, रमजान चल रहा था, and all of the stuff was going. Take that mentality, build and ship वाला mentality रखो. ठीक है. I know a few moments ago back I said कि don't push yourself toward, and I'm telling कि अभी 6 हफ्तों में क्या. That is because when you have a clear vision, then push yourself. कि अब तो करना ही है. When you don't have a clear vision, जब 4 लोगों की बात सुन के मत करो. That is not right. Okay, I mean, I'm assuming people who are raising hands have questions. If you don't, then you can lower your hand because I'm gonna unmute one by one. Arush has question, I guess. Can you guys unmute him? Yep. Arush, you can go ahead and unmute and ask. Arush, are you there?
Arush, you can
Arush,
unmute yourself.
कितने लोग ट्विटर पे हैं? एक चीज दिखाता हूँ तुम लोग को. I used my mic but it did not work. Joining again. Okay. I'll show you guys something. Wait. 20 people are there on Twitter. Really great. कहाँ मिलेगा मुझे वो? Just give me 1 second, guys. So can you guys, let me quickly stop sharing my screen and share the entire window. Is my screen visible? My screen.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Scan this and let me know where this redirects you to. Everyone. Done. See, this is an AI generated image. ये भी एक बहुत, I mean, I myself was blown when I got to know about this about months back that AI generated QR codes are a thing now. I don't know how, but yeah. So AI is really interesting stuff. Anyone, any questions? Raise your hands and we'll have a bit of chit chat here. Guys, come on, यार तुम लोग तो ना शर्मा रहे हो जैसे लग रहा है कि I ask a lot of questions, by the way. I ask a lot of questions in any session I am attending. If I'm taking an in-person session, I went to a college here last weekend. I was picking up people handpicked and I was asking them questions. And very interesting. Like that is how if you don't interact, you don't learn.
I
Simple as
want to
that.
ask a question. Can I, being a host?
Yeah, absolutely, Anya. Go ahead. I mean,
Actually, as you were talking about hackathon, right? So I have been part of 2 or 3 hackathons, but I didn't make up to like top 3 or top 4. So what can be the the tips how to excel in hackathons? Like we NSC like namespace community is also organizing hackathon in March, an complete offline hackathon. So what can be your tips to organize and also to participate in hackathon effectively?
okay, organizing part, we'll leave it for now. I can have a session, different meeting with the organizers, and then we can talk about how you can guys do avoid certain common mishaps that happen in a hackathon. About winning, so I have a cross question to you, Anya. First, how do you go about a hackathon when you know, like, let's assume that you're participating in a hackathon next weekend,
Yes.
and what are your next immediate steps? What would you be doing?
Like looking for looking for more about the problem statement I'm focusing on, and also making up team, dividing up the work because
Let's assume that it's not a problem statement based hackathon, it's an open innovation hackathon. You can build anything you want.
okay. So
Then
yeah, so like prepping myself more to the side of skills, and also focusing on presentation because one of my hackathon, like my experience, due to the lack of presenting, I think that was one of the reason that I got disqualified earlier stage.
okay. All right. And when you are looking for teammates, what do you look exactly for?
I think not exactly being restricted to a particular skill, but I think my teammates should have a mix of skills so that we can just help it out, and yeah, focusing like everything, it should be a mixture.
Makes sense. Totally makes sense. I'll tell you what I would have done if I were in your place. ठीक है. पहले तो मेरा team generally fixed रहता है. I have my 3 friends and we are from the same class and everything. So हम ही लोग करते हैं. And we are all that particular group of the class जिसको घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ता है कॉलेज से या प्लेसमेंट से या किसी अटेंडेंस से भी ऐसा है. ठीक है. Anyways, not going there. I look when I'm forming a team or when I'm suggesting, recommending someone to form a team, I ask them to look for people who are fast learners. Okay, who are enthusiastic. Because when you go
Okay.
into a hackathon, आप सोच के जाओगे कि आपको React में बनाना है प्रोजेक्ट और आपको ये करना है, बट वहां पे जाने के बाद पता चलेगा ओके ये चीज तो और इजीली हो जाता है Next.js से, या
Hmm.
फिर यू आर मेकिंग a Node.js सर्वर बट आपको पता चला कि फास्ट एपीआई करने से और इजी हो जाता, फास्ट हो जाता, मे बी देयर इज सम ट्रैक देयर जहाँ पे यू आर हैविंग टू यूज सम सॉर्ट ऑफ टूल जो कि सिर्फ पाइथन में सपोर्ट करता है, तो नाउ यू हैव टू यूज द चेंज द एंटायर टेक स्टैक. So that enthusiasm होना चाहिए कि okay on spot you are ready to do that. You're ready to change, you're ready to learn the new stuff and implement it. This is how we won both the hackathons. Okay, I'll tell you guys the interesting story. That is the first thing I'll look for. That is the first skill that I'll look for in a teammate.
Okay.
Secondly, प्रेजेंटेशन बाद में आता है, पहले प्रोडक्ट आइडिया सोचना होता है ना कि क्या बनाना है.
Hmm.
That is the most critical part of a hackathon, according to me, because I spend the most time into it. The second hackathon that we went into was Hack This Fall. We won 4 tracks there. It was the maximum any team had won. Okay, four
That's
different
great.
tracks, and We literally spent 1 month thinking and brainstorming about the idea. We did not develop, but we brainstormed about it. ठीक है. All of a sudden हुआ कि एग्जाम चल रहा था. एग्जाम के बाद हम लोग अपने फ्रेंड के यहाँ गए थे. नाइट स्टे वगैरह का प्लान था. अपना मूवी का एंड ऑल स्टफ. एक नॉर्मल
Hmm.
बॉयज वाला जो चीज होता है. ऑल ऑफ अ सडन दूसरे दिन सुबह सो के उठा. मेरा एक फ्रेंड था. ही इज इनटू वेब 3 एंड स्टफ. उसके दिमाग में एक आइडिया आया. ठीक है.
Hmm.
एंड जिस फ्रेंड के घर गए थे, हिज डैड इज अ सीनियर senior director or something at Tech Mahindra. Okay.
Hmm.
So what happened was that ki we had an idea. उसने बोला हम लोगों को, we kind of brainstormed and then we pitched that idea to his dad on spot वहाँ पे to get his
Okay.
feedback कि अगर आप एक customer हो. Now listen to this very carefully, everyone. How many people are here? 67 say 73. I guess, yep. Listen to this very carefully. Okay. When you are building a product, you are either building it for someone, तो जो customer end customer how satisfied he would be, वो चीज भी देखना है. तो we pitched the product idea to his dad and we wanted कि if I were to sell you this product, would you buy it? If not, then why? And if yes, then what features you do like? ये करके हम लोगों का 2 घंटा खड़े खड़े, we didn't even sit. वो रूम में अचानक से घुसे, we were going to have breakfast, but वो घुसे and वो बोले जा रहे. हम लोग काउंट जनरली इन माय टीम व्हाट इज दैट कि मैं आई एम द बैक एंड एंड एआई वगैरह. एआई तो हम लोगों ने कभी किया नहीं है हैकाथन में से. मैं बैक एंड वगैरह देखता हूँ एंड आई एम जनरली मोर ऑफ मार्केटिंग एंड पिच एंड ऑल संभालता हूँ मैं. ठीक है. इट इज अ स्किल टू कन्विंस पर्सन. इट इज अ स्किल टू पिच अप समथिंग, राइट? You can build the shittiest product but pitch it as the best product in the world. बस आपको वर्ड प्ले
Yes.
होना चाहिए. वैसे the communication skill, marketing, sales, these are skills that can take you on to top next level. So when you develop a product, always remember what problem exactly are you trying to solve. First thing, ठीक है? Is that problem already solved in the market? ठीक है? And tell me any idea that comes into your mind. First thing, any idea. कुछ
Regarding
भी, एक
what?
random idea सर. एक hackathon project idea.
All right. It
ठीक है
could
मेरे
be
देखिए. Yeah.
related to smart city or like sensors, we could say. Like it's
Okay,
really very
IoT.
in nowadays.
IoT, let's stick to software if that's okay with you, because IoT में ना IoT generally avoid इसलिए करते हैं because IoT
Hardwares.
is more on operations part. Okay,
Yes,
it's not
yes.
about hardware, it's about resource availability, it's about
Hmm.
operation and stuff. Give me a software idea.
Um,
Let me see the Q&A if anybody else has any idea.
for software, it can be an app development for physically challenged people.
Okay, an app for a physically challenged people. What would it exactly do?
Like dealing with the daily problems because as like it has been like AI gen, so we can use AI and also other things to make
Okay.
that app more feasible for people to use.
Okay. Think about it. Do you think you're the first person who thought of this? एक ऐप बनाते हैं physically challenged लोगों के लिए जो daily use के लिए and stuff? नहीं ना.
No,
Let's say you get an idea of grocery delivery. ठीक है. Do you think you're the first person who has thought about it? No.
no.
The first when you are building a grocery delivery app, the first question that should come to your mind is, what exactly am I doing differently that Blinkit and Swiggy, Blinkit and Swiggy Instamart is not already doing, or Zepto is not already doing. Right? You are trying
Hmm.
to solve a problem that is already solved. ये पहला
Exactly.
यहाँ पे, all these things have to be kept in mind when you're building a project in hackathon, because this is the questions that the judges are going to ask. Project utility, market fit जिसको बोलते हैं. ठीक है. What problem are you exactly trying to solve? Now अब ऐसे तो बोलोगे तो हर ऐप का तो कॉम्पिटिटर है ही मार्केट में.
Hmm.
So there is, तुम एक USP ऐड करो अपने प्रोजेक्ट में. Add a feature to your project which makes you stand out of all the other projects. Now I'll give you an example. ठीक है. उबर में कैसे होता है, व्हेन यू बुकिंग अ कैब, व्हेन यू सैट इन एन उबर, यू सी कभी कभी ड्राइवर के फोन में तुम्हें दिखेगा जब उसके पास एक नोटिफिकेशन आता है नया राइड का, तो
Hmm.
नियरेस्ट जो भी राइड है वो उसके पास आता है, एक्सेप्ट और डिक्लाइन इट, राइट? व्हाट इफ वी टेक दैट टेक्नोलॉजी एंड पुट इट इनटू ग्रोसरी डिलीवरी? यू वांट ग्रोसरीज, ठीक है, आई विल
Yes.
गेट यू ग्रोसरीज फ्रॉम द नियरेस्ट शॉप. इससे मेरा टू फायदा होगा. एक तो डिलीवरी फीस नहीं लगेगा. तुम्हारे घर के
Hmm.
नीचे अगर दुकान है तो मैं वहीं से तुमको ला के दूंगा. ठीक है. Amazon में क्या होता है, लेट्स से यू आर ऑर्डरिंग अ पेयर ऑफ हेडफोन्स. Now that pair of headphones are present in near your house in a lot of stores, but still तुम्हारा वो हेडफोन मुंबई से इंपोर्ट होकर आ रहा है.
Hmm.
ऑपरेशन ज्यादा हो गया, ऑपरेशन हेवी हो गया, ये एक्सपेंसिव भी हो गया. But what if I build a platform to do this thing? Now, this is how you solve a problem. This is how you think of a solution to do it, right? Merging two different technologies or adding a USP to an existing solution. ठीक है, एक ये चीज हो गया. उसके बाद एक और चीज, मतलब दिस पार्ट इज नॉट वेरी नेसेसरी, बट अगर कर लो तो अच्छा है. रेवेन्यू मॉडल अगर आप बना रहे हो उसको, अगर आप मार्केट में कल को लॉन्च करते हो, तो हाउ आर यू गोना मेक मनी आउट ऑफ इट, राइट? And why I'm saying this is because let's say tracks are there, softwares are there who are, I mean, judging, कोई judge कर रहा है, ठीक है? He is a founder of a startup. If he wants to invest money in you, because he'll be looking from that perspective, he wants to invest money in you. He'll look at the revenue कितना है and how can I get back 2x, 3x, 5x out of it, right?
Yes.
Just give me one second. 2x, 3x, 5x or something out of it. So revenue model हो गया, business model हो गया, उसके बाद और क्या? These are the general things. Project utility कितना है, project का how unique the project is, right? Second hackathon में what we developed was my personal college का एक problem है, I think तुम लोग का भी होगा. Notes are sent on Google Classroom. क्लास के
Yes.
ग्रुप्स व्हाट्सएप पे बने हैं. फीस के लिए एक अलग पोर्टल है कॉलेज का, ठीक है? टाइम टेबल के लिए एक अलग पोर्टल है. इंफॉर्मेशन मेल्स में आ रहे हैं. तो लॉट ऑफ एप्स एवरीवेयर इट्स स्कैटर्ड, राइट? वी डेवलप्ड वन ऐप फॉर इन हाउस एवरीथिंग. नाउ ऐसे एप्स एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, बट फर्स्टली आर ऐप वाज स्पेशली, नाउ दिस इज व्हाट आवर क्वेश्चन इज. ऐसे ऐप तो एग्जिस्ट करते ही है, बट वी वर मेकिंग इट फॉर स्पेशली फॉर आवर कॉलेजेस यूज केस, ठीक है? फर्स्ट थिंग. And we even spoke to the college before going to the hackathon. If we make an app like this, are you willing to pay? Are you willing to
Yes.
pay? Because if you are making something, make one thing very clear. बेचना है उसको, ठीक है? First thing. Second thing, now we thought about how can we make it different from existing apps in the market. That is when we incorporated coins into it. Not crypto coins. The entire point I told ना, मेरा एक friend who gave us this idea, he's into Web3. उसके दिमाग में crypto आया. We took the entire concept of crypto and put it here. So whenever you are attending classes on time, whenever you are giving attendance, whenever you are appearing for a test, whenever you are solving your friends' questions in the forum inside the app, you get coins for it. And using that coin, you can redeem certain things from the in-house marketplace. Now, in-house marketplaces maybe क्या है? देखो, now here also a bit of tricky thing comes in, is that if you're developing an app which has everything to do with education, and then in the marketplace you're selling t-shirts, doesn't make sense, right? So we were in the marketplace, you could buy GitHub Pro, you could buy Canva Premium, you could buy softwares premium services like this, coupon codes for that. This was the entire idea of the app. इसका दो वर्जन था. एक था टीचर डैशबोर्ड, from where the teacher could set assignments and send notifications and announcements and set quizzes and stuff. And एक तो students के end में था. Now there are another thing. This can be made in a way of an app. Okay, best
Okay.
way. But then not everyone installs an app to check. Right? So we made
Exactly.
an app view for a phone. We made an entire, and I'll show you. It's even live right now. So you'll see it looks like an app, but it's a website. I mean, app view जैसे होता है. So this is how it looks like. Okay, wait. You see it now. See, this is how it looks like. You see the coins are there, and then you have different sections of the app here. You see your
Yes.
attendance is here, visible here. And we developed the entire thing with 36 stuff. And we won 3 different tracks. That is how, when you are building a project in a hackathon, that is how you should be thinking. You shouldn't be worried about a presentation. I mean, presentation has to be good, definitely. Presentation में points has to be very well. अब आप presentation में लिख रहे हो कि अच्छा हम लोगों ने तो ये tech stack use किया, हम लोगों ने ये API use किया. No one cares. Tell me what you're doing differently. Tell me how it's going to benefit in long term. Tell me how you're going to make money. And then बाद में एक slide में दिखा देना कि हाँ ये tech stack use किया था या जो भी है.
Okay.
Anyone else, any questions? I think someone is raising their hand. Could you just quickly, just give me 1 second, could you unmute them?
Yeah, definitely. I'm doing. Abdul, you can unmute yourself.
Yep.
Even Shreya, you can also unmute yourself if you want to ask any question.
I'm repeating again, guys. If you have any questions, do ask me here right now. DM karoge. I reply to every DM, by the way. But right now, these days, I've been a lot busy because I myself am organizing an MLH hackathon here in India. It's India's first ever AI powered hackathon. तो बहुत कुछ चल रहा है. तो I am participating in Google Solution Challenge. Nice. If you aren't good at maths, you cannot get into AI. You can definitely get into AI, but you'll find it very, very difficult and boring, honestly speaking. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay.
Hello,
Uh,
Rishika this side.
okay.
I was willing to ask, can we use a same particular idea in different hackathons or not?
Can you repeat again? Rika?
Like I have made an idea in a hackathon, and if it idea is used and I have made some sort of project on it, then can I use the same project in another hackathon too?
No, actually, see, morally it's not right. Hackathon wise, it might vary, but generally, nahi. Hackathon ka entire point is you have to develop the project from scratch in the hackathon. You can use the same idea, you can build the next version of that idea there, but you cannot use anything that has, you cannot build anything on top of it. तुमको एक नया से version बनाना पड़ेगा पूरा. Nothing
Okay.
पुराना कुछ भी you cannot use. That is how generally rules of a hackathons are. Rules of hackathons are.
One more thing,
Any more
Bhaiya.
questions? Yep,
As you
yep.
said that
Go ahead.
AI, ML, and data science all are correlated in itself. So, as if we
Yep,
are
yep.
entering into AI, we need to be familiar with all the three domains.
Yes. If you're entering to research side of AI, then definitely. Told you there are two different sides. One is development and then one is research. Development is when you create products on using LLMs that are available in the market. And then there is research side. So if you're entering to research, then you have to be really very familiar and all. On the product side, basic knowledge होने से भी चलेगा. Fundamentals and stuff. Any more questions? Yeah, you can unmute if you have any question. Yeah, are you there?
I have enabled her mic, but she is not able to speak, I think.
No worries. All right, I think no one has any further question. Dhruv has a question. Yes.
Dhruv has a question. Dhruv, please unmute yourself to ask your question.
Hello, I'm audible.
Hello, hi Dhruv. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine too, Bhaiya. Like you said, you should participate in hackathons. So in February, I am participating in my first hackathon. So will you give some advice to me? Like what should I do?
What is the name of the hackathon?
It's a wait a minute. It's in Gym Sector 5. Uh, Code
It's in
Shape Lab.
Delhi
Code
itself.
Shape.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Delhi.
Again, whatever I told you just now, वो सबको ध्यान में रखना. Whatever you're developing, याद रखना उसका एक project utility होना चाहिए. उसमें कुछ unique selling features होना चाहिए. What you call USP. Okay.
Yes, yes, sure.
Then you have to stand out from the crowd because if you're developing something that is already there in the market, then it does not make sense. Hey, अगर if you're
Yes.
developing something that is already there in the market, then solve the problem जो उनके platform पे है, या फिर make the UI better.
Okay.
ठीक है. When देखो जैसे when ChatGPT came out, ChatGPT का UI was बेकार एकदम shit, but it still worked because there was no competitor. But when there are competitors, then UI does matter.
Yeah, sure.
Anything else,
Okay.
Dhruv?
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think we can wrap this session now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as you just
Yeah. Go ahead. Who is
last
this?
one.
Yeah.
By this side, Tushar. As you said that you always build up a team with different mindsets and fast learners, right? As if we are
Yep.
opting team members, then what are the top three skills the people should have, and we can make them in our hackathon fruitful?
See, it depends. Let's say if you're developing an app for a hackathon that you're participating in, पहले तो primary is that the person, someone in the team has to know app development, right? And then now you might find 5 people who know app development. अब उनमें से देखो हु इज अ टीम वर्कर, जो टीम के साथ कोलैबोरेट करे, जो अकेला अकेला काम नहीं करना चाहे, हु इज दैट पर्सन जो कि नया टेक्नोलॉजी सीखने में इज मच मोर इंटरेस्टेड, हु इज दैट पर्सन हु कैन स्टे अप ऑल नाइट एंड डू द शिट। हम लोग जब सेकंड हैकाथन में गए थे ना, फर्स्ट आई विल टेल यू गाइस एन इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी हाउ वी वन आवर फर्स्ट हैकाथन। So we developed something called Medbase. What it does is that it uploads your medical documents on IPFS or blockchain जैसे समझ लो, ठीक है। I'm not going into the details of that. तो वैसे हम लोग we were making it and everything. एक बंदा अचानक से आया वहीं पे, स्पॉन्सर में से कोई एक था, he brought stickers. हम लोगों ने स्टिकर लगाया and he started speaking about his product. उसी का प्रोडक्ट लाइट हाउस करके उसका नाम था, उसका स्टिकर सारे उसने बताया ऐसा ऐसा। And I wasn't present at that time. My friends say my team was present. I was somewhere else, probably I don't know where. उन्होंने जब सुना तो it kind of resonated with our idea कि हाँ we are trying to do this only and we need this sort of service. तो उसका थोड़ा हेल्प लेके somehow we took some time and everything. We integrated Lighthouse into our platform. ठीक है। Now when we integrated it, a lot of problems occurred. तो बार बार उनसे बात करना, interact with mentors a lot. I'm telling you, interact with mentors and judges a lot in the hackathon. Sponsors से interact करो. It plays a really big role. Right. Take feedbacks in early stages. हो सकता है तुम्हें कुछ सही लग रहा है but it's actually not right. तो वो feedbacks देते रहना चाहिए। तो उसके साथ interact किए। अब when there were times जबकि when their product was not working at all. तो उनका फाउंडर से बात हुआ, वहां पे वो प्रेजेंट था, वो वाज लाइव चेंजिंग द डॉक्यूमेंटेशन ऑफ द वेबसाइट। जब हम लोग बता रहे थे कि ये नहीं काम कर रहा, वो काम नहीं कर रहा है, एवरीथिंग करते हैकाथन एंडेड एंड एवरीथिंग फाइन। एक हफ्ते बाद वी गेट अ मेल दैट वी वन दैट ट्रैक। फिर बाद में द फाउंडर ऑफ दैट कंपनी आल्सो रीच्ड आउट टू मी वाया लिंक्डइन एंड सेड कि तुम लोग अपने प्रोजेक्ट को क्या लॉन्ग टर्म लेकर जाना चाह रहे हो, आई रियली लाइक द आइडिया। ओके, दैट इज वन थिंग। सेकेंडली, सेकेंड हैकाथन में क्या हुआ था कि देयर वाज अ ट्रैक पार्टनर कॉल्ड स्टोरी ब्लॉक। ठीक है, स्टोरी ब्लॉक प्रोवाइड्स दिस हेडलेस सीएमएस, जो कि मुझे आज तक नहीं समझ में आया क्या होता है वो। ठीक है, उसको इंटीग्रेट करना था एंड वी हैड एब्सोल्युटली नो एक्सपीरियंस विद दैट, वी हैड नो आइडिया, बट स्टिल एक बंदा लेकर बैठा, उसको किया एंड स्पेंट लिटरली 14 आवर्स इंटीग्रेटिंग दैट स्टोरी ब्लॉक का, जैसे भी हो। जस्ट गिव मी 1 सेकंड। He spent 14 hours, but he integrated it in the end. And the sponsor of the story block stall, जो भी उसका mentor था, वो घूम घूम के notice कर रहा था how we were spending time here, how we were doing it all. ठीक है, last में we won the story block का track. It wasn't about in this case it wasn't just about the idea, but it was also about how much efforts we were putting into that particular उसको integrate करने में and all. So the first skill that you should be looking is कि क्या आप बना रहे हो, एक आइडिया क्लियर करो पहले तो। ठीक है, या फिर if you don't have an idea, if you want a teamwork idea कि तुम लोग पूरा टीम मिलकर आइडिया बनाओगे, then get people थोड़ा सा डाइवर्स करके, कोई वेब डेवलपर है तो कोई फ्रंट एंड जानता है, कोई बैक एंड जानता है, ऐसे करके ऐप डेवलपमेंट कोई नहीं भी जानता है तो कोई बात नहीं है, आप लोग वेबसाइट का एक ऐप व्यू बना सकते हो। ठीक है, ऐसे करके and then you start with an idea, brainstorm, spend time with idea. I'm telling you that is the best. Also, by the way, our first hackathon, the project that we developed, हम लोगों ने उसका एक पेटेंट भी फाइल किया आके वापस। it was not in the, मतलब वो ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता था मार्केट में उस टाइम मतलब क्या 1.5 साल होता होगा, 1-1.5 साल, तो वैसा प्रोजेक्ट एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता। चाइना में उसका एक पेटेंट था, वी वर्कड इट अराउंड एंड वी फाइल्ड अ पेटेंट ग्लोबली। Does that answer your question, Tushika?
Yes, Bhaiya, very beautifully.
Thank you.
I think
Anyone else? Yeah, I think we should wrap the session now.
yes. Thank you so much, Jan. It was such an interactive session. I really appreciate that you have given a lot of time in this session. And thank you, everyone. As we conclude this event, we encourage you all to seek new challenges and pushing the boundaries of what you can accomplish. Remember that success is not just about winning competitions, but about the journey of growth and improvement that comes with it. With that being said, now it's time to wrap up this session. It was really good to see your enthusiasm and passion till the end. But before we end, let's unfold the surprises of this session. The closing ceremony of TechXcelerate 2.0 will be held at the Microsoft Office Gurugram on 28th of January from 11 a.m. onwards, and selected students shall get the opportunity to attend it. And also mark your calendars for March 3rd week, that is 16th and 17th of March. We are doing something special and you are part of it. And guess what? Hack Hazards, a 24-hour offline hackathon to be held at VPIT. There are cool prizes, not just for the champs, but for everyone. Details coming your way soon. So the prize pool is more than 50,000 with super cool goodies and swags. So get excited and buckle up to be the part of Hackasarts, more than a hackathon in which you will explore, create, innovate, and win. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your cooperation. It was a very, very well done session. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you
In
so
case
much,
anybody,
Rehan.
you're welcome, Anya. Thank you for having me. In case anybody still wants to have a chit chat वगैरह, guys, I'm always up for a chit chat. So hit me up on Twitter, LinkedIn कहीं पे, बस Instagram पे मत करना यार, वो थोड़ा सा पर्सनल पर्सनल है, बात समझा करो. All right, bye bye.
Definitely.